And hello. This is Psychochronic, aka Psychorarity, here for another episode of Rarity Talk. And it's been a very long time, 4 months since I've done an episode like this. So here we are with another episode of Rarity Talk. If you do not know what Rarity Talk is that you say, don't worry about it. This is my little vlog or show or podcast, whatever you want to call it, that chronicles my Street Fighter experience. And here we are with episode 21. Episode 21, Psychochronic, aka Psychorarity, discusses my experience of the Mixup 2022. My second experience in Lyon, France for the Mixup 2022, the biggest FGC major in Europe. This tournament would be my first tournament after the COVID-19 global pandemic and the first tournament as a resident of Edmonton, Alberta, after moving here in November 2020. This episode will go through my entire FGC timeline during COVID-19 starting March 2020, along with the details going into this major. This episode is also the first, which speaks about my timeline after the COVID-19 global pandemic. The 21st episode of hopefully many, part Canadian history lesson, part time theater, part photo album, speaking about the Canadian Street Fighter community through my perspective. Without including this intro, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters to go through. So let's get the show on the road, shall we? All right. Let's get on with the next chapter of this episode.
Now, find a new rival.
COVID-19. So within the time frame between March 2020 and July 2021. So between the time frame of March to August 2020, final Toronto event in TTT Canada East Championship 7, came in, stayed up from a hype drum and bass event on no sleep, came in to spectate and record CVS 2 30-game set with Jet 07, then left for Edmonton right when the weekend was over. So basically, I at this time was starting to, I would say, limit my fighting game activities and became somewhat of a nerdy nightlife party monster, because if I can party with cosplayers and I can party with fashion models and I can party with metalheads, it's going to be no surprise I'm going to be partying with ravers. So basically I went to this very hype event in their music scene. It's basically like all the top tier local legends all in this one lineup, and you know, like 20 people in on this show. So here I am with my squad, and we got ourselves a VIP booth and we got ourselves bottle service, and here we are partying. It was like 9 p.m. all the way to like 4 a.m., but it was free before 10 p.m. So it was like free for the first hour, and I went in. I didn't have to pay that $30. It was pretty fucking cool. So it's like, okay, you became a party monster, and then, right after that, you went home, you had breakfast, you had a shower, you switched your clothes, and then you went 11 a.m. to this little regional tournament, TTT Canada East Championship 7. It's basically like a kickoff tournament to the whole major in Toryukin. And they had CVS 2 in this lineup, but it's like, I'm not going to pay $45 for the fucking competitor fee, then 10 for ST, 10 for CVS 2. Like, So I'm like, it's only 10 to spectate? Okay, fine, I'm bringing a recorder. I want to play Jed, because if I play Jed, I can get enough CVS 2 practice for when I leave, when the weekend is over and Monday comes for Edmonton, because I'm already vacationing there for 2 weeks. So there you go. Nearly 2 hours to the other side of town to play, but better than Fightcade on 3-bar wireless. Vacationed in Edmonton 2 weeks before the COVID-19 global pandemic and trapped here until August 2020. You need something to do to pass the time. So most places around the world went through a 3 month lockdown. You're not allowed to go out within X amount of hours, blah, 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 whatever. Okay. Managed to get a 3DS XL to feed Monster Hunter Generations as Fightcade on wireless running on an old laptop prone to overheating. Wasn't reliable, but somehow you were able to record casuals in southwest Edmonton with Scene OG Mini-Bach. Sessions done in 3 games on PS2. So that's Capcom vs. SNK 2, Hyper Street Fighter 2, the Anniversary Edition, and Street Fighter Alpha 3, as the scene here and the province of Alberta has zero access to arcade hardware. I'm the only person in Canada showing any type of legacy footage during the pandemic. Sessions recorded on whatever dates available starting June 2020. Must leave 5:30 a.m. for the first bus to arrive for 7:15 a.m. Setup is ready to record via external record or stream via cell phone by 8 a.m. Session usually ends by 3 p.m. And okay, so that is a link which is my main house channel, Psychochronic, not Psychorarity, and with the search term Mini-Bach in it. So before the pandemic happened, I was here vacationing. So March 11, 3 sets of first to 5 in CVS 2, and then 11 sets of first to 5 in CVS 2 on March 15th. And then you're stuck in Edmonton, 3-month lockdown in effect. Now with stuff is going back, slowly beginning to go through its recovery process. June 9, we did HSF2 casuals, 4 first to 5s in Alpha 3, and 5 first to 5s in CVS 2. We did 200 games of Hyper Street Fighter 2 and 3 first to 3s in CVS 2. Yeah, 200 games. Alright? Ooh. So on June 20, this is completely unrelated to Mini-Bach, so we'll continue on after this part. Getting the chance to play and record UMVC 3 with X-Men vs. Street Fighter OG Dark Renegade, who uses Nova, Doctor Strange, Akuma, and top 3 EVO 2017 placer in PC Marvel God, aka Quackbot, and he was using a team of MODOK, Sentinel, Doctor Doom. So I'll show. Obviously, I'm not going to show a full match or whatever, but it's like we had to show. So basically, I'm streaming off of my cell phone to Facebook Live. And so me versus Dark Renegade, we're playing on PS4. All right, but if you wanted to play against PC Marvel God, you had to play on a PC setup because he uses an Xbox 360 controller, which is fine. So this is what, it's just a summer, well, it's June, soon to be summer, but yeah. So, okay, now we continue on with Mini-Bach. June 23, Alpha 3 Casuals, 100 games of Fei Long versus Boxer in ST Fei Long versus ST Boxer in AE Hyper Street Fighter 2, and then 6 first to 5s in CVS 2. Then June 2, 5 first to 5s in CVS 2, 100 games of Chun versus Boxer and Alpha 3 Casuals. So everything that I'm saying within the dates, I have it recorded. This is what we're playing. July 21, 100 games of random select. Just straight up pick any groove you want, but you gotta pick the random select. Well, we did 100 games of that. Then 3 days later, on July 24, we did 10 first to 5s in CVS 2, and then 28th of July. 100 games again in AE of ST Chun versus ST Boxer, and then 4 first to 5s in CVS 2. August 3, 5 first to 5s in CVS 2. August 11, 6 first to 5s in CVS 2. August 18, Alpha 3 Casuals with 3 first to 5s in CVS 2, and then done. So within this time, I have I really didn't have that much money, and I technically did not move here yet. I'm still trapped because of the pandemic lockdown. So it's like, well, you need to do some type of legacy activity, and everything that I just said within those dates are all recorded and into my YouTube. So in CVS2, I exploring and finally feel like I'm leveling up, but I decided to turn to the dark side and learning a K-based team in K-Groove Blanca Sakura Raiden after using low tier for 5+ years in P Raiden Kami Blanca. And yes, these highlights we're gonna watch them. So this is the final time that you're gonna use P Raiden Kami Blanca in a set. Doesn't matter if it's casuals. I know for sure not in a tournament because you already did it in a tournament. Oh. Alright, now. This is your training partner. Roll cancel is like 80% accuracy in roll cancel. He's been like we practiced. Some of these sessions I don't even show up at, let's say 7:15. I sometimes leave 8:40 to see. One day a week is all I ask for practicing games that is not online. I leave 8:45 a.m. sometimes to play. So the objective is that I'm doing in these casuals is not only are you showing legacy activity, but you're learning a new team in CVS2, you're going to learn a new character in Alpha 3, and you're going to learn a character for a specific matchup in AE. These highlight videos are no more than 3 minutes, so we're watching them, so this is part of the lore. What am I doing during the summer of COVID, basically? You can't return back to Ontario yet. You're still stuck in Alberta, and they are possibly not hosting sessions at that time, and neither can anyone else. Alright, so that's the CVS2 part. In the HSF2 part, teaching someone the Chun Boxer match, doing the Dogberry method of 100 games. So when I say the Dogberry method, and I give that man shoutouts and respect to him, because when we started off in 2006, we would play 100 games. So doing that on Dreamcast was 3.5 hours. Doing that on PS2 AE is 2.5 hours. So we're playing the Capcore version of the game because there's no arcade hardware here. So it's like, okay, might as well. So we played 100 games. So because I wanted to teach him the Chun Boxer match. So there were times where we played the Fei Boxer match, and that match is like very hard to win. So Here you go. Dedicating an afternoon to learn a specific matchup is common. 100 matches is a training method for me. And one of the reasons I view this, I'm speaking about this, is because when you saw those Daigo Umehara Kimono Michi exhibitions, it's like Kotaka Shoten, Anaiken, Ito, Yu Vega. They play a first to 10, and that's very short. Especially if you're going to play a locked character match. It's pretty much, it's like you need at least 30 matches minimum to kind of get, the feel and the tendencies of it. So here we're playing 100 games. You notice the slowdown because we're playing on PS2s. I mean, come on. And I have it on CPS1 music on purpose. The hitbox. I put that on the clip because of the hitbox. That's the roundhouse version of the up kicks. I wasn't within his hit range, so basically his super beats mine. The timing is very strict. It's basically second super wins first, which is sometimes not the case. He whiffed crouch roundhouse, and he didn't block. Block, super within the slowdown. That is what I'm trying to time purposely in the match. Jab, super. He knows how to do that on reaction. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say about that one? Crouch roundhouse as an anti-air. Not even an anti-air, but it's trying to counter a jump. Point blank versus point blank. Super versus... Usually the second should win. It's kind of weird. Alright, and... I know another video should not boot. Alright. Final highlight. Alpha 3, finally learning a new character, V Charlie, after being bored with your main since 2006, V Karen and V Mika, while exploring a new character playing a specific matchup in V Sakura. So basically you're gonna learn V Charlie and then eventually V Sakura, but you don't use V Sakura. It's nearly 2 hours on the other side of town to play, but better than Fight Kate on 3-bar wireless. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of a freezing error, but we'll just record a new clip in the same chapter, so we'll just continue on. Apologies for the little bit of the clip out. I don't like playing Alpha 3 or even Alpha 2 on Fightcade for some weird reason. Maybe it's the frame skips. I don't know why. Alright. So those are the 3 games of activities I can play. Well, aside from like not really much in the Fightcade, you're just feeding Monster Hunter, so alright. November 2020, Real Life gave you that unblockable news on Wake Up, made the ultimate and crucial life-changing decision to not only move out of Mississauga, but the province of Ontario to start a new life in Edmonton, Alberta. A bunch of personal and community decisions were made on this one. Number 1 community being Toronto FGC. You've been in Toronto Street Fighter since January 2005, and there was no challenge towards you. You did everything a scene could offer in some degree possible. The best journey you could ask for. Alright? Number 2 community being Toronto Cosplay. You've been in Toronto Cosplay since July 2014, and things got repetitive and boring to the point that you only attend Pink City events to compensate the absence of conventions. So basically, you became a nerdy nightlife monster and partied with cosplayers. Number 3 community being indie wrestling. You've been in Ontario indie wrestling since July 2015, but couldn't explore outside the boundaries of Mississauga and Toronto as events are too expensive and scattered along the province to the point that you can't keep up with the scene due to its oversaturations. 18 promotions captured so far out of potentially 33 promotions in the province of Ontario, an average of 8 events every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you tried to play Pokemon Snap, you tried to go to every promotion at least once, and that was almost impossible to get to. So you had your fun, but you explored everything you could. You tried to treat the Ontario wrestling scene as if it was Pokemon Snap. Each promotion is like getting a badge. Number 4 community being music. You've explored at least 25 genres of Toronto music since September 2015. Most events are expensive, so you only go to the cheap ones or free entry. Last community to explore was EDM, mainly drum and bass. Managed to somehow experience so much within 1 full year. So basically, where do I like to party? Is you party with drum and bass people and techno people, bass people. So that's what you do if you just want a break from every other scene. So you have Street Fighter tournaments, you have cosplay conventions and parties, you have wrestling events, and you have music events. Roommate of 5 years decided that we should part ways and you couldn't find a place in time. The rent in GTA Toronto is too damn high to the point that you could realistically be homeless. So $1,800 a month on average is rent, one of the highest rental prices in the world. So basically, yeah, you got to get out your fucking house. It's like, I think 3 bedrooms for $1,200 is a steal, but it's like for one person it's completely unnecessary. You're more likely to get COVID-19 in Ontario rather than Alberta. Normally, the timeline of a pandemic is 2 years minimum before its end peak, and I'm not willing to wait that long to pick up where I left off. So, yeah. Finances and family comes first. Time for a new change in life. After living alone or with a roommate since 2014, made previous visits to Edmonton since 2016, and it opened my eyes. So basically, all these factors of there's nothing for me left in Ontario, there's nothing left, everything's too expensive, there's no challenge. So it's like you might as well have to change your life around. So there you go. So I think that concludes that. No, December 2020. Okay. Managed to get a cheap Xbox One, $150 to take advantage of the Boxing Day 2020 sale. So most people know me console wise. I'm an Xbox person over a PS person. So I just managed to find one for cheap. Monster Hunter World Iceborne, Sonic Mania Plus, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. First time since March 2016 my gamer tag is reactivated. Is it 2016? I think. Yeah, 16. Might as well download whatever compatible games purchased in the past. So, okay, finally. Your laptop isn't gonna last long enough and you only have a 3DS, you might as well buy a new fucking console. So there you go. Found a cheap Xbox One. All these games total was like less than $50. Alright. July 2021. Managed to buy a cheap desktop capable of Naomi Dreamcast emulation since my laptop finally died. First time playing Fightcade in months, and I'm starting to enjoy and adapt to it ever since its mid-2021 updates, and finally playing on a decent setup. Province of Alberta slowly starting to reopen, slowly exploring and capturing the Edmonton rave scene. I need something to do in a new community to explore, as there's no emphasis for the games that I play on top of streaming in front of 0 viewers on Twitch. So basically, you need something to change your life, and basically that kind of researching everything in Alberta at the time, the fighting game is basically all anime. So pre-COVID it was Uniest, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. I don't know for the games that I play, it's almost non-existent ever since I never spoke to Mini Bach since those sessions during summer of COVID. The guy basically ghosted me. It's like, yeah, but I see the guy playing on Fightcade now, so it's like, okay, whatever. The wrestling is too expensive and very limited. The cosplay is not worth it, almost non-existent, and too expensive. So you might as well go to the one scene that has your FGC penny pinching mentality, and that's the rave scene. Drum and bass, EDM, techno, whatever. That type of stuff. DJs. Notable only tournament entered during online era was entering a CVS 1 US only tournament featuring 2 Canadians and myself and Justin Wong living in Vancouver. We're not far away. They did it for the lore. So basically, in terms of online tournaments that I played, one of the best ones that I did is when they did the CVS 1 Revival tournament. It was hosted by Riz1, and 14 Americans, including 2 special guest Canadians in Justin Wong and Psychochronic, aka Psychorarity. So that was pretty cool. So that's basically my timeline from March 2020 all the way to July 2021. Basically, you had to change your life around, and you knew that the games that you were gonna play has very limited emphasis, and it's like you at that going into the July when I got that set up, I realized that I don't have a choice but to play online, to be a Fightcade online warrior, because well, the limited access of the games is like almost non-existent, not only in the province of Alberta but between British Columbia and Manitoba, with the exception of Justin Wong. It's like, yo, there's no challenge for me in Canada in terms of the games that I play. So I'm like, ugh. But it's like you need something to do, so you're going into the rave community. If you kind of think about it, you have a camera, you have a DSLR, you used to capture wrestling and fashion and cosplay, with a big camera, and then you have effects and music. So it's like, why the fuck not? So that's my timeline. Basically, you're one of the very few not only online people who will play online in Canada frequently, but like the only legacy player, if you think about it. All right, and that's the end of that chapter, slightly over 11 minutes. All right, all right, all right. Let's get on to the next chapter of this episode.
Now, find a new rival.
Trip planning and research. New rules of travel. Oh, new rules of travel. All right, all right. You now live in Edmonton, YEG, so you must rely on cheap flights now. You can use various major cities in Calgary, Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal as hub cities to get to wherever. And the reason why I name drop these 4 cities is because during the COVID recovery process, these are the only 4 major cities that have international flights. I live in a city where during that time for flights, domestic only. So it's like, well, I think the same thing kind of applies here, especially if you're going to travel internationally. Even if you still lived in Toronto, those $1 mega bus tickets don't exist anymore. Minimum 200 American round trip, Toronto to New York City. So basically, it was a good ride while it lasted, but, well, those tickets do not exist when COVID happened to, go through the recovery process. So, well, guess what? No more $1 tickets. So, your chances of traveling to East Coast majors such as, Summer Jam, Winter Brawl, Northeast Championships, and East Coast Throwdown, the chances are much slimmer. Defend the North, those chances are much slimmer now. So it's like, oh no. Because there's little to no legacy emphasis or challenge in Edmonton, or basically Western Canada when you don't count Justin Wong, and the reason why I'm name dropping him is because he lives in Vancouver. So it's like, I want a challenge, like in terms of all the other I'm not going to count Justin because he's always going to be American to me. But like in terms of all the other Canadians and all your other OGs, what challenge do you have towards me? That's the thing. So to continue on, you have no choice but to rely on Fightcade as a reliable practice tool, and you must enter multiple games, at least 4, at a major, with XSB being the only exception to make a trip worth it. So my thing is, unless your tournament is called X Street Battle, I will not travel to any American major or international major, domestic not counting, unless you have 4 games minimum that I can play. Alright, I need to make a trip worth it. So, like, I'm an OG, so it's like playing, and I have Fightcade, so it's like there's a specific list of games that I will show. So it's like I need to make it worth it. Unless with XSB is different, because it's like having been to a single game major and you're facing the best of Europe in an OG game, that's a different experience. That's one thing. So it's like, just to get back on track, I need to make a trip worth it if I'm going to travel this far. All the games emphasize in Edmonton that I don't play: Under Night and Birth, EXE, Late Clerk, BlazBlue Central Faction, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and Samurai Showdown, based on the emphasis that I don't have a PS4. all the games that you'd likely enter at a major tournament, and the star beside the game name is all depending on major or entry fee. So I'll enter TVC, Marvel 3, Marvel Infinite, ST, Third Strike, Alpha 2, Alpha 3, CVS 2, Vampire Savior, and Vampire Hunter. With Third Strike and Marvel 3 being the dependent one. I don't feel like entering this one. I don't feel like entering this one. Whatever. But it's like, this is the games that I play. Notice how there's no Street Fighter 5. Notice how there's no Guilty Gear Strive or Guilty Gear Xrd. 6 days minimum, because traveling for a weekend just for a major isn't enough. You need some emphasis on sightseeing. So guess what? I need to travel halfway around. If I'm going to have to travel halfway around a continent or a planet, you might as well like soak into the sights. You know, I'll bet you that there are some places that you go to where like their local museum is free, and you can just explore their local museum, or like there's like a specific like tourist destination or a tourist hotspot or a tourist attraction that gets you. You might as well go through with it. Might as well. Trip planning. Reasons to go to the Mixup 2022. A cheaper alternative than Japan. Very hard to find a cheap flight under $700. A cheaper alternative than Las Vegas for Evo. Flight 250 from Edmonton, but no carry-on luggage. 60 to 100 for an Evo Sunday finals ticket at Mandalay Bay. Only in Las Vegas, no more than 3 days versus staying in Lyon for at least 6 days. In comparison to other non-EVO US majors, specifically Combo Breaker, CEO, and East Coast Throwdown, because these are the 3 non-EVO US majors that I've researched specifically, the flight minimum is $550. American money is too much, as the average competitor fee is $110, so that's $150 in Canadian dollars, on top of having to enter 3 main games at $10 a game, times that by 3, and then currency exchange 1.36 on top of whatever hidden taxes and PayPal fees. That is $200 minimum for me to enter 3 games at a US major. That is fucking crazy and expensive. You found a cheap flight from Western Canada to Paris for $500 Canadian dollars, but the dates only apply specifically in early October, meaning you can't stay in Lyon long enough for X Street Battle 2022. 3 weeks total is too much. It's basically choose one or the other. You can't go to both, but you managed for the 2nd year in a row to convince a top US player in Mega Man X to attend X Street Battle 2022, with that arch villain being the first in 2021. So my thing is, there you go. If I can convince an American player for the 2nd year in a row to go to this tournament, I'm happy. I'm done. But it's like, well, you already have enough the time to go to the Mix-Up, because that explains it. Staying in Lyon is too much time. It wasn't financially feasible for me at the time, but I found out I could do it, but I didn't want to do it anyway. So it's like 3 weeks is too much. So it's like, yo, but I can convince Mega Man X to show up, because I remember I told him of how this can happen. Hey man, he wanted me to find him a cheap flight from EWR Newark, not New York LaGuardia, not New York JFK, so it had to be EWR. So it's like, okay, find your way to CDG Paris, and it was like $350 round trip from EWR to CDG, but how you find your way to Lyon is on your own. I don't know how he did it. He either took a plane or a train or a bus. However he did it was on him. And then he had a great time there. I saw some of the footage, and it's like, there you go. I convinced a player to show up. Therefore, I'm happy. I'm done. I don't need to show up. Second visit to Europe, as Rarity winning HFS Summer in Ultra Street Fighter 4 and Third Strike was a motivator for me to compete. So basically, they have a major of arcade games. It's called HFS Summer. It's in central France. It's like 2 hours south of Paris. And they had past international guests show up in the past. They had Shinonii, they had Peko, they had Shinomaru, they had uh I don't know who else. But okay, so they had Chirity for this one, and he won third strike. And Ultra Street Fighter 4. Well, he was already like super godlike, so it's like this was a pretty good pick. So it's like, yo, if Canada can fucking make some noise, Canada can make some noise. I'm gonna show up on this one. First time experiencing a traditional major, the Mixup 2022, rather than a single game major, Next Street Battle 2019. So that's a pretty much easy explanation. A traditional major is all the games that your scene is able to host. What does the Mixup have? 12 games. What does, let's say, Frosty Frostings has? 36 games. So it's like, okay, you have 12 games at the Mixup, whereas, let's say, X Street Battle is solely dedicated to one game, and that's Super Turbo only. So if I'm gonna go to X Street Battle, you're expecting only ST and not even AE or STHD or Ultra Street Fighter 2. Any other SF2s is just not gonna happen. So in the Mix-Up, okay, so it's basically their big major: Tekken 7, Guilty Gear, Street Fighter 5. King of Fighters, Grand Blue Fantasy. Okay, cool, whatever. Alright, cool. First major after the COVID-19 global pandemic, and the first tournament as a resident of Edmonton, Alberta, after moving here in November 2020, which begs the question: you only have online to practice in the games that you like, and you're slowly being ingrained and materialized in the local rave community as their event photographer. Do you still have it in you to compete in this time in this scene? So it's basically, if I can only choose, and actions speak louder than words, obviously. So in 2022, which major one major outside of Canada do you decide to go to? Well, you had the Mix-Up, you had East Coast Throwdown, Evo, Combo Breaker, and CEO. You obviously chose the cheapest option in this one, so you might as well take it. Do you still have it in you? Well, you only play online, and there's like no competition for the games that you play, so it's like you're basically going off of fundamentals and basics. Goal is to get top 8 and get any of the games that I enter. So there are 12 games at the Mix-Up, and 4 of them are the retro portion. So that's Super Turbo, Third Strike, Cyberbots, and Vampire Savior. Might as well. Like, okay. Alright. Cost of trip. Gateway flight Edmonton to Paris round trip is $500. Cheapest flight from WestJet with layover in Calgary. WestJet introducing direct routes from Calgary to Paris or Amsterdam for similar prices in various seasons. And this I don't have in my notes. It is a minimum 8 hours to get to either destination. 8 hours minimum to Paris, 10 hours to Amsterdam. Alright, so it's like, okay, WestJet better than Air Canada for sure. So it's like, okay. Alright. En route Paris to Lyon, one-way flight is $70. Simple 90-minute flight from Air France. No flight deals available. Alright, cool. Housing. Housed in Izzy Morin's apartment in Gratte-Ciel during the entire stay in Lyon from September 26 to October 3. Shoutouts to him. Shoutouts. Because it's like, I needed a place to stay, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to show up to the Mix-Up. Because when I went to X Street Battle, I was impressed. Everything in both of like hospitality wise and like city wise, sightseeing wise, both fighting game wise, community wise. It's like I'm impressed of what I see. It's like something was telling me to come back here. I don't know why, but it's like it had to be done. It's one of those things. Going back, I took a bus, 7 hours night bus from Lyon Perrache to CDG Airport. Leave Monday night. Arrive Tuesday morning, safely arriving 10 hours before departure. So basically, I had planned where if I leave Monday night, I'd arrive at CDG in Tuesday morning, and you are not leaving this airport. You are not going to take the Paris RER and do any sightseeing. You only had like 60 to 70 euros left, and it's like, I'm just gonna stay in this airport until my gate is ready to be open for check-in. So, you might as well take the safe route out. The Mixup registration fee is $74. 50 euros. So the euros is as equal to American dollars, but the early bird competitive fee is 30 euros. On top of having to enter all 4 retro games at 5 euros a game, times that by 4, currency exchange 1.48 was a steal, and possibly one of the cheapest majors I've registered during the Street Fighter V era. So there you go. That's one thing, right? This was the steal that got you, was basically $74 to enter a major in comparison to America, where I would pay triple this amount. There you go. Because and also, this is the FGC. People usually don't do like early bird registration, so they have to do normal registration, and then some people would, they want to go so badly that they have to pay the emergency registration, and it's like, you can save yourself a lot of money when you plan in advance. So this one, when the first weekend that they did the early bird registration, just get it, don't worry about it, just get it. So I took that. There you go. Research. The biggest FGC tournament in all of Europe with 600 competitors from 12 plus countries spread throughout 12 games. You're the only player from North America in on this major. Located in the north part of Lyon with extremely easy to commute direction, 20 to 30 minutes from Charpentz via Lyon C2 plus 5 to 10 minute walk. Like, getting here was easy. I thought, seeing it in the Google Maps first, I thought I felt like kind of like quote unquote intimidated, but when you do all this sightseeing, it's like, okay, you know what, within this point I'm gonna go to that venue. I'm gonna take whatever directions that they say on the official website, just to kind of get myself kind of, used to the route and how to get there and back, because there's going to be a situation where you're going to have to either go back to the apartment or go to the venue from either direction. So you might as well take it. This was pretty damn easy. So getting here to commute here was just, it's not like you're in the middle of nowhere in like some boonies ass place in like some like, I don't know, countryside area. No. Main game emphasis for this major is DNF Duel and Guilty Gear Strive because they're part of Arc Revo Cup, Dragon Ball FighterZ because they have very great players in France, and France has been bodying America in that game within the last year, and Tekken 7 as it's a Tekken World Tour Masters event 2022. So basically, the best of Europe is in on this if you either play an anime game or Tekken 7. All console games to be played on PS4, all arcade games to be played on Japanese head-to-head cabinets. Alright. Pretty standard these days. So it's pretty standard. ST. Chun-Li and Fei Long, 2 weeks before the biggest ST tournament in Europe in X Street Battle 2022. Perfect warm-up to those attending. The one game that you've been struggling on Fightcade but have been using Fei Long majority of the time since late 2019 as Chun-Li eventually got boring. So basically, I've been using Fei Long ever since the pandemic and ever since after those mini box sets. So it's like, alright, this character fits my playstyle. There's going to be some time that you're going to use this character at a major, so... Third Strike Urien, the biggest Third Strike tournament in the history of France. Various players from HFS Summer 2022 in attendance. First time entering Third Strike in a major since July 2019, which was Defend the North 2019, which also acts as the Jazzy Circuit Season 1 finale. And I got to enter the last chance qualifiers because they already had their qualifiers already done. So this was basically like the final bracket, and they did a bunch of last chance qualifiers, and I got to play in it because every game at that major was Maturino, free entry with Maturino. Constantly shifting between B and C ranked on Fightcade. So for those that I play I've been playing lots of Third Strike ever since like 2015, but haven't been entering much at majors, but this is the game that I've been playing a lot for on Fightcade, and a lot of people would mistake, oh, because I use Chun-Li in Super Turbo, I'd also use Chun-Li in Third Strike. That's not the case. I actually use Urien in the game because I just found the character to be interesting, and it fits my playstyle. Just put it like that. Cyberbots Bloodia, the biggest Cyberbots tournament outside of Japan. First time entering the game because it's €5, so why not? Managed to get at least 8 to 10 matches on Fightcade beforehand. So basically, I'm coming in here with a blank mind. It's only $5. It gives you something to do on the Sunday morning. You might as well fucking play it. Who knows, you may even get top 8. This game just looks interesting. Is there any interest of Cyberbots in North America? Absolutely not. And they actually have the accessibility and resources to run this game in a tournament. So might as well take it. Vampire Savior Rikuo, the biggest Vampire Savior tournament in the history of Europe, and the only thing close to a vampire street battle that you'll experience. Somehow B ranked on Fightcade, so this is the surprise game you've been improving since. So I've been playing Vampire Savior since 2014 on occasion, and then when Fightcade came in and I got that desktop set up, same thing like Third Strike, I've been playing that game a lot, but somehow B ranked and not consistently shifting from B to C. And I use Rikuo, the fish, in the game because it's actually a cross between Super Turbo Chun-Li and Third Strike Urien. It's just the playstyle of that character. Plus, that was the first and only character in the game's trial mode in terms of the Darkstalker's Resurrection. In terms of the trial mode, that was the first and only character I can beat the trial mode of all the combos. So I figure, okay, this character is actually pretty good, and I'll take it. All right, so basically that's the research and planning of this trip, of what motivated me to go here. So it's basically everything that you ask for is cheap, and it's not America, and it's a different experience, and it's like the challenge that you've asked for. This is your first tournament, not only of after COVID, but you're not of Toronto anymore, and you live in the other side of Canada, so it's like, yeah. So there you go. Trip planning and research chapter done. That's the end of that chapter, slightly 21 and a half minutes. Alright. Let's get on to the next chapter of this episode.
Now, find a new rival.
The Mixup 2022, Saturday, Samedi. Super Turbo and Third Strike. So we begin the day with Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo X Grandmaster Challenge. So results, you have 37 people, and this is your top 16, and I managed to sneak away to that top 16. I copied the results from Event Hub, so yes, I did use M Bison. I can explain that. So basically, when I post up whatever I've done, I post up the results, and then I post up my bracket. So this is what you have to go through in order to win a tournament, and this is my bracket. So even if you beat this person, this is your next opponent, and your next opponent all the way to the end. So basically, I won my first match, then I lost my second match to DX Steve X, who is from Switzerland, and he uses Boxer, and then I beat Chimera, who happens to be from Germany and uses Ryu, and then I lost to Ludo Victor, who happens to be local within Lyon, if I'm not mistaken, and he mains Cammy. So that is my performance. So, and then the match footage that comes with it. So, good thing I have it readied out. So we're gonna go through my matches.
Tunis aujourd'hui son pseudo. Un ancien lyonnais contre un joueur qui a beaucoup de plaisir à venir à Lyon, monsieur Brett Psychochronic. Il était là au XSB 2019, il avait voulu venir déjà en 2018, n'avait pas pu. Et là il prend sa revanche.
So this is me using Fei Long.
Oh là là, la super un peu piffée par Psychochronic. Oh, il remet encore. Non.
All the years you've been using it on Fightcade and locally in Toronto before COVID, this is your chance.
Oh là là, ça va tuer. Et oui, ça tue. Oh là là, Psychochronic en mode remontada. La remontada canadienne. Psychochronic qui vit à Edmonton, c'est-à-dire quasiment de l'autre côté du continent nord-américain. Allez, c'est très aérien du côté de Tunis. Il a un hélicoptère, ça c'est sûr. Et il se fait pousser. Attention, beaucoup d'expérience de jeu du côté de Psychochronic. Hein. C'est un mec qui joue depuis 15 ans, quelque chose comme ça. Allez, le dragon est là du côté de Psycho. Il encaisse bien, monsieur Tunis. Il va remettre en place un jeu de boules. Un jeu de boules, pas de folie, monsieur Tunis. Oh là là, pas de Reka non plus. Hein. Les Reka, c'est whiff punish garanti. Ça va tuer.
Jump.
Quand tu fais des balayettes dans le vent, derrière tu prends 3 Reka. Garanti. Donc attention quand tu whiffes tes normaux.
I'm just viciously staring at the camera, but on purpose. I knew someone was gonna cap that or call that. I was like, he's just viciously staring in the camera in between matches. Alright, so the claw pick. Okay, cool, whatever. That's fine.
Allez, il est parti sur les persos sales, Tunis. Ça lui réussit pas beaucoup pour le moment d'entrée de jeu. Aïe,
That Fei Long is ridiculous.
côté de Psychochronic. Mais ça passe. Allez, attention, il se remet en position, Tunis. La position bas arrière.
Chicken wing after chicken wing.
Bas arrière, charge dragon.
Flame kick after flame kick. Just like Shoryuken.
Oh, c'est confirmé. Ah non, il a raté.
Throw.
Mister Psychochronic. Et la super en combo. Oh.
That jab into super, that's the first time I've ever did
2-0 match.
jab into super in a tournament match. That I felt that came naturally, but I felt like I buffered in a punch in release right after I did the jab. I think I may have held strong and released it during the super motion after the jab. So that's how I think I did that. So that was a great opening match. That was great. Alright, so my next match is against DX Steve X, Balrog player, boxer from Switzerland, and my understanding is that he's leveled up greatly ever since his loss from that arch villain in the previous XSB. Because how he lost is that he just had to do a super to kill, and he screwed up, and he basically got to come back, and he lost to that arch villain. So my understanding is that he leveled up very good. This match I still struggle with. I don't want to throw a fireball because I know he'll super through it. I'm worried about that. So I'll just do a super when he jumps into, and then upon landing, then he can just block it. That's fine. I just don't want to do fireball. Throw. That was not supposed to happen. That was supposed to be a fireball. That was an execution error. Ugh. Super. He has the throw. Super. Oh, and the trade. Alright. At this point, it's like, yeah, you're not going to use Fei Long. Against Boxer, hell no. Come on. Use Chun-Li. Why? Oh, come on, dude. Alright. You're worried because he has super ready. See? And you're trying to super back in return. But he has his throw. He had a TAP. You're trying to get the headbutt so I can walk into the walk in for a throw. No low roundhouse abuse. Well, why am I not doing lightning legs? I'm worried. There you go, but at least I'll super on your jump back. That's one thing I will time. If you're within sweep distance and you jump back, I can super you, and you either get hit or you're forced to block it. Oh, a cross up. There you go. And then you do the super on his dash low. 1-1. Stare at the camera on purpose. Jab, jab, throw, jab. So he had a tap, but he does a dash low. He tries to throw, but I had a roundhouse right after his dash upper. Now I have super. He has super. I super to get out, but I was supposed to win that. I don't know how. He gets throw on my cross up. No low roundhouse abuse, but I'm doing the lightning legs. Up kick, throw, and then the mix up crouch, crouch. Oh. Up kicks. No up kick, throw. Alright, 1-1 final game, final round. Throw. Crouch. Throw. Crouch. No throw, but does dash upper and he's ready to do super. Alright. GG's. And the next match, well, my match with Chimera Ryu was off stream, so my match against Ludo Victor Kami. Alright. So Feilong. So I'm pause. So I'm using Feilong because in my mind, I'm not confident with the Chun-Li match, and I played Nakamura Kami in Fightcade. We played an 11-game set, and it was 6-5 me. So it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go off of that, and so it's basically like you're learning the matchup. But you're using Feilong, so it's okay. I should have flame kicked. Should have flame kicked, not did crouch. That was supposed to be a super or to jump out, just to jump out on his wake up. Now I feel like, okay, I need to make a character pick. And having been using Chun-Li and M. Bison in casuals, I felt confident. But here is where the confidence kind of does backfire. Because even though you did get, some games and wins in casuals, you've been using this character for a while, even casually on Fightcade. But, like, this pick just didn't work for some reason. So I felt like, oh man,
Balle de match
you
pour
if you
Victor.
jump shield air throw, so it's kind of weird. You can't just randomly try to do head stomp or devil reverse because she'll have an air throw ready.
Là, on est un peu sur un statu quo. Oh, ça saute dans tous les sens,
Done,
surtout.
finished.
Le Captain Stun, hein, le fameux, le seul combo un peu balèze de Camille, hein, qui fait qu'elle est ultra
So
dangereuse.
I felt like this was disappointing.
Victor est bien chaud, hein. Il est chaud.
So I felt like
Il continue de remonter les braquettes.
when I lost in here for ST, I felt like I knew I leveled down significantly in ST because it's like everyone leveled up, and the scene is pretty much dead in Canada. Like Lord Jimmy Bones retiring didn't help. Thello went MIA. Chirithi, I don't even know if he played the game at HFS. The ST scene in Toronto kind of just died down. Here I am living in Alberta, and I felt like, yeah, I did significantly level down in ST. So, yeah. So it's like, well, you need to improve on your shit, so it's okay. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. So what goes on after that? So these are your results. 59 entrants, which is pretty good, and I was one match away from top 16. And my bracket goes as follows. And yeah, it's a good thing that everyone is guaranteed one match on stream. So some of my matches were done off stream. So I was understood. After if you did win that match against Messi, you would get into top 16, and then those matches would be on stream. So this is the only match I have on stream, and I only play Urian, and I practice on Fightcade.
Allez, c'est parti. Avec Psychochronic et Sonorienne. Face au français et son Yang. L'overhead qui a intercepté le tackle. Yang qui a pas l'avantage. Yang qui bloque.
I'm the type of person that would randomly do violence knee drop, the knee move, when the opponent whiffs a sweep.
Et le bloc.
Boom.
La phase. Black dans le vent. Medium kick debout. En proximity touch. Et premier round pour le Canadien. Psychotronic. Allez. Avec le splash. DX.
So even though I'm known for ST, like, okay, I'll play this game, why not? It's only €5. So it's like, why the fuck not? That's like $7 Canadian. So it's like, okay, that's a pretty good way. That's a pretty good price.
Largement l'avantage. Donc il y a bien sûr sa super en stock qui passe la balayette. Puis l'overhead. Enfin, le dead kick.
59 people is a lot.
Medium, gros point. Yang qui revient petit à petit au score. Ah là là, les timings ne sont pas bons. La chope avec Kiss Reflector.
Aegis Reflector. You're doing Aegis pressure, and then you keep abusing crouch forward, which you can easily crouch parry. Alright, so it's 1-0 me.
Allez.
You know, if he's gonna do Rekka. He's gonna do Rekka after he does a crouch forward, crouch medium kick. Nice red parry. I'm trying to either parry forward or not throw. So that's why I'm
On essaie de voir le petit du son pour vous.
didn't hit.
Français qui avait l'avantage. Et qui
Yeah, you're just gonna rush in because it's like that's so much health. Aegis Reflector.
Le tackle.
Knee drop, but you can't get the
Devant,
cross.
faire la phase.
Because I can't do dash headbutt. That's hard. Parrying to EX.
Bien vu,
And then crouch to EX.
corps à corps. Le médium, double médium et le stun.
Nice.
Plus
And
derrière.
he gets the taunt for, so whatever bonuses.
Médium.
Yeah, he mixed my shit up. Yeah, he mixed my shit up.
Et de la couille qui revient. Un partout. Entre le français et le canadien.
Third strike.
Allez, un partout.
All right, 1-1.
Un medium kick pour commencer de la part du Canadien. Le medium kick actuel Max Range. Et les slash du français trouvent bien leur cible. La medium kick slash. Voilà, et sinon, ça reste en faveur du français ici qui trouve bien de quoi mettre son adversaire toujours dans les cordes. Derrière le balai avec les assiette. On tape le medium pour l'époque. Et la chope.
Power bomb, Aegis Reflector, dash in, overhead, crouch fierce, mix up, headbutt. Nice parry, and then what goes on here? He had tension senkutai for the chip damage.
Les balles de match pour le français. Et la balayette. Bien joué de la part de MLK qui trouve des bons pocs et qui conserve son avantage positionnel. Le palme Max Range qui touche.
Power bomb, Aegis Reflector, overhead. Nope, he went low, but the launch didn't happen.
Qui laisse bien une opportunité ici en français de trouver des ouvertures. Et c'est des ouvertures qu'il va trouver ici avec 0 vita. Allez, la
Command throw into Rekka.
qui permet
Alright,
de bien
GG's.
de gagner
And
et de passer.
that's the only match of me on stream. So all my matches were done off stream because you have 5 stations to run a 59-man bracket, and this is my road, and it just looked pretty hard. And within every day has a photo album. So I'm gonna share all my pictures from that Saturday. So this is me with a selfie with the backdrop of the mix-up. First major since Defend the North. Yeah, Defend the North. No, wait, XSB technically. So first major since XSB. So you basically ended your major, and I'm not going to count Roger the Garage in Columbus, Ohio, because that's a rhythm and dance game major, and I'm not going to count TTT Canada East Championships 7 because that's a regional. So okay, XSB, and then this is your first major, pre and then post COVID. So alright, this is the badge which comes with the schedule, the QR code, a bunch of stations. This is all Tekken 7, and then each with its own row: Guilty Gear Strive, Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition, DNF Duel, Arcade Corner. So this is Super Turbo. We have Zargat acting as one of the MCs on the mic, and is the main emphasis of the game, the main event, is Tekken 7 because it's part of the Tekken World Tour and Masters Series. I think that this is Grand Blue Fantasy versus, I can't tell. This is the stream chat. There's a separate TV monitor for the stream that monitors out the stream chat, so anyone can just pass by and see it. This is the stream cabinet, and then they put the big screen, a large plasma screen, just to stream it off. So not everyone, you don't have to huddle over a cabinet. Here it is on a big screen. So this is Super Turbo. This is Zargat. This is I would say the seating area, because the big stage is basically where all the big games get featured. So this is a bunch of the arcade machines, all in little plus, or X cross whatever type blockage in the little section of the arcade area. And so this is Third Strike. This is Izzy Morn, best ST Claw in all of Europe. Here he is with the mic and assisting with the Super Turbo tournament, because Super Turbo does start off the arcade section. This is Tekken 7. This is Izzy Morn in Black Mane. This is another part of the casual section of the arcade area. So there's Fist of the North Star, Breakers, and Vampire Savior, along with Garo Mark of the Wolves and another Vampire Savior. So this is Izzy Morn in Black Mane. This is the food truck. There were two food trucks. This is the burger food truck, so classic burger with toppings, 8.5 euros. Burger Lebanese, 8.5 euros. Frites, French fries. This is the top 8 of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So it's BansheeBot versus Izzy Morn. So Blanca, Claw. Zargat versus Kazel. So Chun-Li, DJ. Twiff versus Marcad. So Claw and I think E Honda. And then Juju Mag 2X versus DX Vex. So that's Honda Boxer. Alright, Izzy Morn. This has to be Soul Calibur 6 in the other room, because there was a little other room. This is Kazel versus Zarkat and Super Turbo. This is the medal ceremony and the trophies, which is basically like the plaque of certificate. So this is Kazel second, and if you won, you got a shirt. So this is BansheeBot who won, and first, and then top 3, Zarkat with his getting third, Kazel second, and then BansheeBot first. So up next is Third Strike. So I really don't know much of the Third Strike scene. The only people I recognize were the people from HFS Summer. So basically Niaban and Otana. So basically Yaz versus Otana, Niaban versus Victor, Dalicious versus Kishi Labette, CRHK versus Nicola is your top 8. So I don't know much. And so this is the second food truck, which is Kim's Bop, Bibimbap. So basically Korean rice type food, which is pretty damn good. Yo, that shit filled me up. Yeah. Bibimbap. Third, second, first. I don't know much about Third Strike, so I apologize for just skipping it through. So this is the casual row. So this is Chichio, who uses Felicia, who happens to be the best player in Europe for Vampire Savior. So you have a bunch of machines all lined up. Garo Mark of the Wolves, Hokuto no Ken, and possibly another Vampire Savior, or replaced with Third Strike. This is Grand Blue Fantasy versus... Is that? I don't know. I don't... Yeah, it has to, because it's in the other room. I don't know much. This is Dragon Ball Fighters. This is a casual station outside the arcade area, within the arcade area, with 2 8-traps playing the game, and these are the championship belts that you get if you win a main game at the Mixup. Just like CEO, you get a championship belt. And like these, like having I've come from the wrestling scene, this ain't no foam belt that you get at like Toys R Us for like $10. We're talking like 10 pounds of imitation gold and thick leather. I'll bet you that shit has to be at least $300 a piece. That shit is not fucking easy. This is your top 8. I'm guessing, I don't know. I don't know which game this is. That's a top 8, I apologize. This is Q's, one of the people of Lados and one of the, I would say, figureheads of the tournament. Very great guy to hang out and chill with. I don't know. I think this is DNF Duel. Yeah, this has to be DNF Duel. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is DNF Duel. Because it says so in the trophy. So this is, the medal ceremony. They line everyone 7, 7, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone gets their medal, and then you get, your plaque, and then winner gets their belt too. Another shot of the arcade section, and then, oops, sorry. Zarkat in one cabinet. You have, I'd say, Flo, Sama, Izimor, while Hughes is playing, and I'm guessing, yeah, that's a vape. And it's very hard to find vape liquid in Lyon for the vape that I have. So that's pretty cool. This is ST. This has to be one of the people that's running the stream service. Okay, whoever the people that's running that main stream, the British part of it. Yep, that's one of the guys. Yeah, it's actually these two. Yeah, these two in specific. Yeah. And that is it. That ends that chapter. That is my Saturday of the Mixup 2022. So I don't want to get into any details of what goes on after the tournament, whatever, because it's like, okay, we just usually crash. It's like, we don't want to party or anything. We need a good amount of rest because you don't want to go in there hungover or whatever. So I guess it's a Europe thing or whatever. So yeah, that's my Saturday of the Mix-Up, and that's the end of that chapter. 29 minutes. Alright, let's get on to the next chapter of this episode.
Now, find a new rival.
The Mix-Up, Sunday, Dimanche. Cyberbots and Vampire Savior. Cyberbots, Full Metal Madness 20 entrants. So this is my first time ever playing this game with only, 10 matches of Fightcade under my belt. So I'm like, I don't know shit. I played some casuals in this Sunday morning of the game because it's like, well, you're not going to be playing Super Turbo, you're not going to be playing Third Strike. During tournament, it's not like, I don't know if they have some sort of like official team tournament or some type of shit, but like, okay, the Sunday you're focused on the other two of the 4 retro games in Cyberbots and Vampire Savior. So with Cyberbots, it's my first time playing the game, and my bracket goes, let's see, I only play one match on stream. So this is my first ever match ever in Cyberbots.
Saleté, un miroir Rolken. S'il maîtrise les combos du perso avec target. En fait, tu fais target et carrière B après. Ouais, attention, en super.
Bloody a punch.
Ça peut se punir par Shoryu nature. Alors qui est en rouge, hein? Je crois que c'est Psychochronic en rouge. Oh le Shoryu.
Shoryuken.
Même il a un Shoryu, hein. C'est comme à 2x. Hein. Ça bourre des balayettes. Ça agresse. Allez, une centaire dash bien arrêté par le missile de Soba. Oh, pas de punition, si. La chope. Et la chope qui tue.
This game is actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually pretty fun.
Il lève son point de manière rageuse. Attention, hein, faut vraiment faire gaffe. Hein. Les coups multi de Bloody, il y en a certains qui sont archi unsafe. Hein. Allez, pour l'instant, Floodman il zone pas mal. Bon, la chope, fout-moi la paix. Oh, la furie.
Oh, I tried to do a super.
Voilà, qui passe dans le vent.
It didn't work out.
Et le Shoryu.
Shoryuken. Shoryuken again.
Un Shoryuz. Un Shoryu robot. Bien joué, Soba.
Weapon.
Missile. Ouais, bien joué. Allez, Psychochronic, il essaie de revenir tout
Yeah,
doucement.
the Silver of Life.
Bien joué.
Oh, but you get punched.
Un A en punition. Bien joué. Un partout entre les deux joueurs. Attention, ouais, par contre le air missile il a beaucoup de recover. Faut faire attention avec ce coup.
Le missile vaut mieux le faire au sol, hein, globalement, avec Blodia. Bien joué, la chope. L'OTG. Ah, il a tenté l'OTG avec la petite pointe, le Soba A. Ouais, ça fait des petits coups de poing rageurs dans le vent. Il faut bien penser à canceller le A par le B. Hein. Bien joué. Oh, le chariot. Bien joué, le chariot dans le chariot. La balayette. Attention, hein, petit avantage pour Psycho parce qu'il a de la barre. Ah, et le burst qui est passé. Ça permet de respirer. Et la furie. Et ça va presque tuer.
Wake up super. And an OTG, so just like Vampire. Weapon,
allez, la balayette,
when you're trying,
il se fait du
then you do Shoryuken.
Oh là là. Magnifique. Le Shoryu plein de rage. En fait, il aurait même quasiment tué au grattage, je crois, parce que c'est un Shoryu qui touche 3 hits en garde. Et vu la barre qu'il avait, le pauvre Floodman, c'était la mort garantie, je crois. Bien joué, premier match pour Psychochronic. On part sur le...
Just fast forward. Alright, so I'm the red Bloodia, and I use Miri, while he's the blue Bloodia using Jin.
Et d'ailleurs, ce perso, je crois que dans Street 5, Ryu a un costume alternatif de ce perso.
OTG,
Ça s'appelle genre Ray.
Bloodia Punch, because I'm trying to jump dash C, which is that little saber move.
Attention, punition. Oh non, un peu trop légère. Bien joué, voilà, enfin des targets, merci. Bien joué. Target AB, ça fait bien mal. La Floodman qui est sur le point de prendre le premier round. Bien joué. Oh là là, magnifique. Le saut petit point dragon. Ça c'est vraiment du Hulken tout craché. Et bien joué,
Shoryuken after my dash. Because I know you're just gonna just turtle and just weapon shot all day.
Un round pris par Floodman dans ce match. Ah, ça va vous faire des dash dragons. Ça joue comme si c'était Dimitri dans Vampire Savior. Faites vraiment gaffe avec vos projectiles en l'air, hein. C'est vraiment, ça a beaucoup de recover. Oh, ça a tenté un garde cancel et un petit burst, ok, pour respirer. Je pense qu'il y avait mieux à faire pour punir le dragon, mais c'est pas grave. Parce que là, le dragon, tu punis avec Fury Nature, le mec, il se calme, il attend, ça se calmer après. À rester un peu silencieux. Allez, la punition A, d'accord. Voilà. Bien joué, le Shoryu dans la balayette. Bien joué. Oh,
Shoryuken. Trying to do bloody not command grab, throw, no OTG, use super, but it didn't work.
Un petit coup de poing dans le visage et un partout entre les deux joueurs. Même perso, force rouge contre force bleue.
Alright, 1-1.
On va voir qui est marron derrière. Pour l'instant, c'est bien serré entre les deux. Bien joué, le Shoryu, respecte-moi. Et l'OTG! Magnifique taille, il l'a fait de loin.
Robot fighters.
Il a quasiment fait un hop.
That was supposed to be a Shoryuken.
Un super hop de coffre. Un Baoba. Baobasso. Pas Baoba, ouais. Allez, la balayette, double balayette. Ça maintient dans le coin. Et c'est serré entre les joueurs. Hein. Ça cherche à contrôler le terrain. Bien joué, le Shoryu dans la balayette pour mais Psychochronic, il aura mis combien de
charge, Shoryuken whiffs, and then I get bodied.
Floodman est content, le target est sorti. Les targets dans le jeu, ils ont des timings assez stricts hein, quand même. Hein. C'est pas des targets permissifs de certains jeux plus récents. Bien joué, pour le Shoryu qui voulait rien dire celui-là. Voilà, celui-là il passe. Ah, le nombre de hits que ça fait en garde. 4 hits en garde. Allez, le Shoryu à nouveau. Ça va se jouer sur... Oh, la furie qui
super.
ça gratte beaucoup,
Wake up super, but he blocks it. Then he does his super. I don't know what I was trying to do. But yeah, as long as you're gonna do short, you can do OTG. But I get thrown. Done. Finished. Alright. GG's. And so there's no matches of me on stream, so I win 2-1 off stream, then I lose 2-0 off stream. So basically that was my time in Cyberbots. Pretty fun game actually. I should play that game more. Vampire Savior, the Lord of Vampire. So this is the surprise of it all. Final game to play, 36 entrants, 4th place finish. And my bracket is not as easy as it is. And it's a good thing that all my matches were on stream because we're going to watch every single one of them. So before we even watch every single one of them, I'm just going to review all the bullets that you managed to dodge. So there were some people in tournament that I was able to play, and one of them happened to be CCO. But the other people you were not able to play in tournament, but you did be able to play in casual, or you've heard of them previously, they were bullets that I dodged. They were like people that you weren't able to play. One example would be Banshee Bot. Is the same way I played Chichio in casuals. I beat him the first match, but the next 5 or 6 matches, I can't beat you. The same thing applied with Banshee Bot. Like, alright. That's one person. The next person would be Izzy Morning for some weird reasons, because the last person I played in Vampire Savior from Europe was Izzy Morning. He beat me. Well, not only he beat me, he eliminated me at that year's Canada Cup. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I play him, let's see how much he's improved. He uses Dimitri, so I should be able to know the match. But it's like, the rules of the OGs still happen. Don't sleep on this guy. He ain't no slouch. He can get wins if you're sleeping. If you think you're gonna sleep on the guy. So no, Izzy Morn, I felt a little concerned. Visav Rev, who happens to be an OG from the Greater Paris area, one of the OGs of French Vampire, European Vampire. Okay, so he uses Zabel, Lord Raptor, and I feel like, okay, that's a very troubling match for me. It's like, I don't know shit. He can just mix your shit up. He can just punish you in like from full screen or whatever ways. But I found out he's using Lilith, and it's like, okay. But Lilith is just like the same thing as Morrigan. It's like, okay, with enough tools, this character can get to you and kind of mix your shit up. So Visav Rev was a player that I did not be able to play. So I was like worried, okay, if you have to play this guy, this guy can probably beat you. Okay. And the next person happens to be Yusha, who happens to use the fish, aka Rikuo Albath, and I'm like, you guys play a similar style, and when I played him in casuals, I played him, and it's like, I beat him the first match, but the next 3, I couldn't figure him out, because we play a similar style, so it's like, ugh. So here I felt like I dodged a lot of bullets, but the bracket is not fucking easy, so I want to watch all those matches. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I'm gonna watch all those matches. So my first match happens to be W, who happens to be the guy who runs the whole tournament, and one of the featured people when they did Vampire Street Battle, along with Rev and Chichio, in terms of European Vampire Savior talent. So here I knew I was gonna play this mirror match one way or another, and this is going to be frustrating. Like, I felt like, oh, this is not going to be easy. This is very hard. This is how you... It's like having played in a tournament and be like, this guy is a top 8 killer and possibly can get top 3 and you got to play him first round. This is how I felt going into this match. Oh, okay, already right there, when he did the wave super, it gives me a sign, yo, you cannot just spam sonic waves all day. Respect the space. You have to respect the ground now. Alright, dash strong. He has the Dalsum drill. Already right, okay, so already. I'm not respecting the ground. I'm not respecting the ground. This is going to be difficult. Bubble. Unblockable. There you go. I had the choice. If I didn't do ES follow-up attack OTG, then you did the bubble. Like, okay. Because he was going to roll forward anyway. Alright, good shit. 1-0 me.
Je rappelle qu'une fois que vous êtes dans la bulle, vous êtes vulnérable à peu près tous les attaques. Et Poisson a de très bons confirmes et peut faire d'énormes dégâts après cette bulle. Pour l'instant, Psychochronic qui est un peu à l'avance contre
Keeping the space.
C'est bon, le finish a été trouvé, le combo qui a été trouvé aussi. Après lui, l'OTG. Bonne défense, chicken block, ça s'envoie fumée sur fumée. La différence des couleurs va jusque dans les fumées, ça fait sonar, ça fait fumée. Je sais pas trop ce qu'il essaie de faire, en tout cas le match-up a l'air vraiment horrible.
Tech hit. Sonic Wave versus Sonic Wave. Dash versus Dash. Thought I could beat that ES Sonic Wave. No, but I get punished from the poison gas. Trying to roll forward and he has me on an unblockable and he takes my life out. I already here I'm an autopilot. I'm in autopilot. It's like you're just doing random things, just like, please get the fuck away from me, please get the fuck away from me. There you go. See, he's now knowing, okay, like he has every aspect controlled out. You can't spam ES, you know, Sonic Waves or Poison Gas because he has a wave ready out from full screen. Nope. You screwed up. Okay, finally I take his life, but it's like you have he can time you out, but he's just gonna rush in. Dalsum drill done. 1-1. Good shit. Good shit. This is already in my mind. I'm thinking I'm getting frustrated. This is hard.
C'est deux fois la même personne, ils ont le personnage jusqu'au même t-shirt. Et regardez, ils font les mêmes coups en même temps. Regardez, on fait des gros points, on envoie des sonars. Personne n'a envie d'avancer.
You have to build meter. You have to build meter in space control.
Très bien confirme en plus de la part de Psychochronic, mais avec la barre blanche qui redescend, ça fait pas extrêmement de dégâts. Et Psychochronic qui est parti. Il est parti en mode attaque, il va louper sa bulle, il va faire le geyser à la place.
Let me do that just to mindfuck him, and have control of that air just for that 1 second. Already he has 2 meters, so he can do the wave super, but he does a bubble. Does another bubble, but wastes it. I do a bubble, but I respond back with a kick to push him into the bubble, but it was already too late. Already he has that wave super to know that it's like, okay, respect the ground. Bubble unblockable, okay? Respect the corner now. I missed my bubble. Wait, no, I have no meter. I have no meter. Sonic Wave as an anti-air, and then I take his life. There you go. Okay, now I use the tables on him. He did Sonic Wave, but I respond back with a wave super. Okay? He took my life, so it's now final life. Final round, final life. Already he knows that that's a good mix of bubble from mid screen and then Dalsum drill. There you go. ES Sonic Wave to punish the dash. There you go, done. Respecting the ground, because once he whiffed the air attack, once he goes down, it's like a full screen trip guard. Done. I was very relieved, because it's like, holy shit, that to me felt like a top 8 match just right off the bat. So that was pretty fucking scary. Alright, so my next match is against Netherlands player Backdrift Ackley, Dimitri. Alright.
Des deux côtés ça peut aller très vite parce que d'un côté il y a un démon et de l'autre côté il y a une bulle.
Ouais.
Pour l'instant les techniques de la part d'Arrêterie, il fait ouah, le combo va faire super mal. Le TG qui a bien été trouvé. Ouah, et le cross-up aussi de la part de McGriff qui va essayer de venir, qui va attendre patiemment, qui va attendre peut-être une erreur, je sais pas, de son son adversaire. Là, ça s'envoie un peu des boules, ça s'envoie un peu des projectiles, ça change la barre. Malheureusement, ça c'est pas.
He has all these mix-ups ready. He can teleport. He can teleport, dive kick to get out of corners.
Après la drill, phase très classique.
He has, you know, 2 dash supers.
Ah, il a pas voulu aller au bout, la Psychochronic pour punir la retombée de la bulle et waouh, le cross-up qui a fait tellement mal. Et il était dedans cette fois-ci.
Those are some crazy mix-ups that you first have to start adapting into. It's basically which way do you block.
Ça s'envoie des sonars, ça s'envoie des bulles.
Okay.
Heureusement, il n'a pas été fini, mais ça aurait pu faire très très mal puisqu'il y avait Dragon Yes qui est sorti du côté de Dimitri. Dimitri qui a tout son temps, il peut attendre puisque de toute façon il est très bien à l'avance à la vie. Et il va faire un dragon, c'est bon, il va réussir à trouver Psychochronic qui essaye de se dépatrer avec les
Okay, tech hit.
Il va se faire une opening et c'est bon.
Okay, ES Sonic Wave to counter the dashing Shoryuken. Dashing Chaos Flare. ES, get rid of that damage. Alright, we're both even on life.
Voilà, c'est bon, il va se relever en coup, mais c'est bon, il va réussir à trouver. Dash arrière, la bulle qui est envoyée. Ça, c'est un peu compliqué. Ouah, est-ce qu'il va avoir combo max? Est-ce qu'il va avoir combo max? Non, malheureusement, il n'y a pas eu combo max. Mais ça, un peu à l'égalité. Ouah, c'était cross-up ça sur la balayette, ça fait tellement mal. Zonard qui va toucher. Ouah, il a essayé de faire gros point, je sais pas pourquoi. Ok, il touche. La bulle, juste pour mettre la pression, pour revenir. Peut-être, il reste en tout cas 24
He has 3. Okay, good
Les
shit.
dégâts sont monstrueux.
A cross up into chain combo, so it's a 1-0 him. Alright.
Qui peut encore remonter pour l'instant. Il n'y a que un seul 1 à 0 entre le Dimitri et le poisson. C'est parti pour les deux joueurs. Il se passe un truc de fou.
Poison gas. I don't know why I'm screwing up my combos, because my combo ends in a sweep.
Psychochronic, c'est bon, c'est remis dans le match. Ah, et en plus, il a la
What are you gonna do?
Psychochronic, du coup, il peut être
Air throw,
voilà, faire des shots dans les airs.
Sonic Wave, or Poison Gas. Pick either.
Pardon,
Jump.
la fumée qui est passée, la balle qui est... Et la chope qui a été trouvée dans les airs, la bulle peut-être qui va retomber. Est-ce qu'il va retomber dans... Non, il est revenu.
And he teleport dive kicks into the bubble.
Il n'est pas fini parce qu'il était peut-être pas assez proche du point. Le sonar qui va toucher.
But he gets hit with the ES Sonic Wave.
Psychochronic qui est à une avance considérable, qui est en train de malmener le pauvre Bagriff.
Dashing. I'm dashing. I'm not trying to jump, because if I jump, he's gonna have an air fireball ready.
C'est bon, arrête deux fois, pas deux fois d'affilée. Bagriff qui reprend l'avantage, qui dit c'est bon, je vais être...
Chaos Flare. No, it's Demon Cradle, actually, for the Dragon Punch.
Il passe dessous le Psychochronic, ça fait pile poil la distance pour cross-up. C'est bon, heureusement.
I'm trying to get him in the corner so I can bubble him.
Faire le sonar, Psychochronic qui est bien à l'avance, qui va refaire une bulle de pression. Ouah, quoi, il est tombé dedans.
There you go. Good shit.
C'est pour ça qu'il a pas confirmé. Et là, il y a punition, voilà, de cette boule en l'air. Et là, il n'y a pas combo là-dessus, alors que c'était gros point. Ils sont dans les airs, c'est pas encore fini, c'est pas encore fini.
Good shit. That's some rush down. There you go.
Prend le premier round.
A little bit of just tech hits, and then
En fait, il y avait
just find some missing pieces amongst his defense. And then once you have in the corner, you can just go offense on it. Notice how I didn't use a bubble and use 2 ES Sonic Waves instead of bubbles in the corner, because I just want to go in for that damage immediately.
Troisième match entre le poisson et le vampire, ça s'envoie des projectiles, ça essaie d'approcher. Ouah, il a réussi à le choper directement là, Psychochronic qui s'enfuit en faisant des gros points. Et le pauvre Bagriff qui arrive pas à l'attraper parce que à part les dash au sol c'est un peu compliqué. Ouah, il va se prendre la fumée. Le combo, enfin, il n'y a pas le combo max mais c'est bon. Psychochronic a sauté, il va faire la vague. Il va réussir à punir. Pour l'instant, gros avantage. Voilà, ce coup ça dure tellement longtemps.
Ooh.
Bagriff qui arrive à sauter au-dessus et qui va peut-être essayer de tuer. Il a essayé de tuer avec le Dragon EX, mais malheureusement il va faire remettre dans
I'm
le
bleeding and
point.
I'm running the fuck away.
Il va même réussir à toucher.
Got you.
Il va même
There you
réussir à
go.
il va réussir à lui faire l'imbloquable, pauvre Bagriff, qui a quelques petits soucis là.
I can hear Banshee bot cheering for me.
Le sonar EX qui est envoyé, Bagriff qui envoie des boules, qui ne sait pas quoi faire face à ce poisson. Ouah, c'est même pas fini ça. Le poisson malheureusement qui, à part les coups blocs, n'a pas grand chose parce que son garde français c'est un peu pourri. Il va trouver la fumée, il va mettre le con, c'est bon, il a réussi à faire le combo max. Malheureusement il s'est retrouvé dans le coin.
I'm dashing.
Bagriff qui va
I'm
pas-
dashing in. I have air throws ready. I have unbubble unblockable.
Combo max. Ouah, il a loupé le dragon.
I dash into the ES Demon Cradle.
Voilà le TGX, dépense les barres. Oh non, je sais pas ce qui s'appelle la PG.
I screw up the bubble.
Et du coup, oh, qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Tech hit, tech hit.
La mise au point. Et le gros point.
Jump.
Psychrotonis qui va back drift de
He thought I had the bubble. He thought I was gonna do the bubble, but a couple of tech hits into sweep and then just jump in.
Et j'ose pas trop crier trop près du micro, j'espère que
Alright. So my next match is to make top 8. Morrigan. So I have to face a Morrigan. Alright. This is gonna be tough.
C'est parti, il va y avoir de la bulle, il va y avoir du poisson. Ça lance des boules à l'autre bout de l'écran. Qui commence à...
This is gonna be tough.
C'est quand même compliqué, hein.
I don't face as many Morrigans or Liliths
Il a quand même une barre pour confier mon Dark Illusion.
as much as I'd want to, but like, ugh.
Il prend pas le devant derrière. Ah, il bourre à la relève, ça casse
Nice.
c'est un peu dommage. La boule
I can guard cancel too. So I did that because with any ES projectile, especially like Soul Fist, I can just easily guard cancel it within a block frames. Because it's like 6 to 8 hits. I'm ready. You do that any ES Soul Fist, I'm ready to guard cancel. Nice.
Au moins, il n'y a pas d'embrouille. Il risque pas de prendre une chope. De toute façon, il y a 2 coups sur ce dash, donc le garde cancel est assez garanti. Un joli jump in. Dragon qui est bloqué, il n'y a pas vraiment de punition, c'est dommage.
This is not going to be easy.
Aïe 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 aïe. Toujours pas de chauve-souris perdue, il reste 40 secondes. Bon bah voilà, fallait le dire, comme ça arrive. Psychochronic qui aime bien
Nice. Got me in the air with the ES Soul Fist. Bubble. No bubble.
Petit dragon comme ça nature, la boule qui va toucher.
Sonic Wave right to your face.
Il en met une première, il a plus de temps pour en mettre une autre, c'est dommage.
I'm just trying to mix you up and then I wake up with strong.
Et ça suffit à remporter le match. Allez Karlki, souviens-toi qu'ici c'est Grenoble. Voilà, c'est ça qu'on veut entendre. Et c'est reparti. Encore sur un début de match assez similaire à celui d'avant. Il se cherche un peu en neutral, il y a un dragon qui est trouvé. Il y a Loki qui est bien bloqué de la part de Psychochronic, ça continue. Une autre mise au sol, le devant derrière qui n'est pas gardé, il a paru...
Already he's got me with crouching attacks and I'm ready like not doing anything about it. Alright, nice ES Soul Fist to counter my regular poison gas. Why I'm trying to tech his low hits. His shit comes out too quick. Crouch into Raging Demon. Good shit. This is gonna be hard.
On n'a même pas le temps ici, un dragon qui passe. Là c'est lui qui se fait mixer à sa propre Lokizem. Une première bulle. Voilà,
Get that wave. Respect the ground. There you go. Run it back.
Voilà.
Valkyrie
On
turn.
évite les embrouilles, il passe à l'autre bout de l'écran. Ça évite de prendre la bulle qui est imbloquable. Ça continue à se chercher maintenant. C'est encore une fois Karlki qui a l'avantage, donc en vrai il devrait temporiser au lieu d'essayer de chercher les embrouilles.
This is pretty tense. Who's gonna crack? Because I know he has those guard cancels ready. And I'll have that guard cancel ready if I... Just like the previous match. Just like the previous match.
Plus en essayant de zoner qu'en essayant de beaucoup miser avec des bulles et c'est vraiment très efficace. Enfin ça change en tout cas.
Ooh.
Karlki est toujours présent, hein. il a pas dit son dernier mot. Encore
Valkyrie turn.
dans la bulle, c'est dommage. Un tout petit peu plus tard, ça l'aurait évité complètement. On va lancer une autre bulle. Cette fois-ci, elle était trop loin pour que ça fasse quoi que ce soit. Encore une bulle, décidément. Là, il va
Ooh.
atterrir avant.
Oh, the trade. Congratulations for making it into top 8. This match was tense. Not gonna lie, this match was pretty fucking tense. Alright, so my next match is against Chichio Imberlichio. Alright, so the best player in Europe. You earn the right to play that man in tournament. So let's see how you do.
Psychochronic et son poisson fou contre la rigueur de
Felicia.
Felicia.
This is a match that I don't have much experience with, so it's very tough.
Réussir à embrouiller Sissio.
It's similar to, let's say, B Shaman or QB or Zabel or Sasquatch. You're Pringles to this character. So this is going to be a tough road.
C'est un jeu, ouais, un jeu très patient de la part de Sissio. S'il faut mettre la garde, il est là. Ouais. Des blocs systématiques. Psycho qui essaye d'emballer avec
Get the hell away from me. There you go. When I do that wave that I've learned from the W match earlier in bracket, it's one of those. If you're full screen, please get the fuck away from me so I can recover.
pas mal, ouais.
Now he's rushing me down.
Push block. Le Garcancel, la mise au sol. Et bien gardé, bien push block de la part de Psychochronic. Le setup de bulle trop loin. La bulle qui s'éclate avant. Sissio qui est quand même à kilocan, mais on a toujours deux stocks des deux côtés. Hein.
You going too close.
C'est vraiment un match de neutral très lent. Pas de grand round dedans.
That means you have to go back and recover for a bit. Oh, and he does ES rolling buckler. Now he has another rushdown attempt. See, combo into ES rolling buckler again. Now it's like, because of that one little brain fart. If you jump in, he's gonna do standing short, which is an NI air. KO. Alright, how are you gonna respond to this? 1-0.
On est reparti pour un deuxième match. Allez, 1-0 pour Sissio. Ah, je pense qu'il a voulu punir. À mon avis, je sais pas si c'est safe le dash gros point. Ou alors peut-être c'était un garde-cancel raté, je ne sais pas. Derrière shot tout de suite. On met au coin la bulle. À mon avis, la bulle est un peu loin. Ouais, c'est ça. S'il se colle au coin, il la prenait pas. Ah, il a essayé de décaler shot, il a raté son timing de shot, je pense. Ça, c'est le manque d'expérience de jeu sur arcade de la part de Sissio. Psychochronic qui prend l'avantage.
I don't know where this unknown rushdown is coming from. I don't know how.
La shot dans le coin, la bulle, oh, le setup de bulle.
Get out. But I screw up that combo. I screw up. It's like, shit. Tournament nerves are real sometimes, yo. You know, dropping your combos in crucial points can fucking cost you. No bubble. I'm saving that meter, actually. But here I'm getting greedy in with a rushdown. KO. 1-1. So as of that point, I'm the only person to get a game off him in bracket. That's pretty impressive. I can hear Banshee Bot cheering for me too. Let's go, Psycho. Alright, let's see how you do this one. It's 1-1.
Allez, Grenoble. Sur un, Grenoble, c'est pas loin. Hein. D'accord. Peut-être que. Rarity qui va reprendre les commentaires juste derrière. À la fin du match. On a encore un début de match à chaque fois assez serré, vraiment très patient des deux côtés. Un coup c'est Sissio qui emballe, un coup c'est Psycho. Là avec les bulles dans le coin, voilà c'est ça. Mais ce coup-ci il s'est pas laissé prendre. La bulle était un petit peu trop ratée au niveau du timing je pense. Trop d'options pour sortir. Ouais voilà, ils sont neutrales.
We're not giving a fuck. It's like we're not respecting each other. It's like we are not respecting each other in the matchup. It's like, oh, we're just going ham.
Psycho, je pense qu'il y avait plus de barre. Oui, c'est ça, il avait plus de barre. Il pouvait pas faire de bulle.
You know, you try to play cautious, but at the same time,
Je me demande si on n'a pas vu un espèce de airblock
You know, you want to try to make a statement. It's like, I'm not trying to sleep on you, but yo, don't try to sleep on me too.
On met une barre de IX au cas où on arrive à emballer derrière pour tuer plus vite. Elle a un peu perdu, mais c'est pas grave. Voilà, il a repris l'avantage. Il sort du point.
There you go. Mix up.
De toute façon, je pense qu'il serait pas tombé dedans, il aurait dû éclater avant. Le push block, voilà, le décalage shop.
Throw, and then...
Oh, le saut neutral.
Okay. He does neutral jump on my strong, and that's when he gets me up. GG's. GG's. Alright, so now that I'm sent to losers to start off top 8, my next match is against our run back against Ackley. So Dimitri again, the Netherlands Dimitri.
C'est parti, Psychochronic contre McGriff pour cette loser quarter. Attention. On a déjà le poisson qui est redoutable. Est-ce qu'il y a shop fait? Non, il n'y a pas de shop fait celui à dragon, mais je sais que normalement on peut faire ça. Et Dimitri qui est super chaud, voilà. Alors ça peut être fini normalement quand on se la prend en garde.
Alright, let's see what you got.
Les dragons sur la borne. Il est super chaud, voilà.
Chaos Flare, Chaos. Demon Cradle.
C'est bien gardé,
Demon Cradle. Alright. He knows what to do now. He knows what to do now. Dash into that super. That's a 2-meter super. Kick out. And then you get thrown back again. Alright, so now, final life. Get away from me while I use the whole ground as a full screen trip guard. KO, good shit. He's calm down. He's trying to calm down. Alright. 1-0. Okay, so here we are back in the earlier part of bracket, okay? He's up 1-0. How am I supposed to win this? Alright, let's see. So I felt like I had a brain fart and I went on autopilot there, so. Alright, enough games, enough of this. Nice combo. And he's trying to dash in to do a super. Get out of here. Ooh, Sonic Wave against his ES Demon Cradle. Air throw, air throw. Enough of this shit. Fall into the bubble. Fall into the bubble again. Now, don't tech forward. I'm just gonna do it at that point. ES Sonic Wave. Air throw again. Alright, he's not bleeding no more. Alright, but he gets my life. Alright, final life. Fall into the bubble. Unblockable. 1-1.
Le poisson bleu continue. Les amateurs de poissons derrière moi, à côté de moi, autour de moi et chez eux encouragent tous Psychochronic, qui est, je crois, le dernier poisson en vie. Dimitri, Backdrift, qui est peut-être le dernier Dimitri en vie, je ne sais pas. Je crois. En tout cas, c'est le dernier round entre les deux joueurs de vampires. Et pour l'instant, c'est Psychochronic qui a l'avance. Qui s'avance, qui va trouver une belle ouverture, qui va trouver maintenant la shop, qui va faire des dégâts considérables. Et qui va trouver la
bubble.
Ça va peut-être aider super. Non, il a loupé son combat.
Ooh, I got you now. I got you now. That's a free life in 14 seconds. Free life.
Le pauvre n'a qu'une barre. Il va pas pouvoir faire comme ça des démons. Et Psychochronic, il va pouvoir revenir à l'attaque.
I got you now. You're dead. Alright, there you go. A little bit of a mind fuck. A little bit of the brain farts can get him.
Il a full lâché dans le coin. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Je sais pas ce qui s'est passé. C'était incroyable. Il a fait roll à l'infini. Ouais, il a fait dash. C'est bon, McGriff qui arrive à s'échapper de cette bulle. Heureusement, malheureusement, il va se faire choper. C'est bon, c'est bien dépêché. Mais là, il va falloir vraiment beaucoup de chance et de talent pour McGriff pour revenir. C'est bon, il arrive à push block, il va se déchoper. Il va se faire tuer. Il remonte 2 à 1 pour Psychochronic.
GG's. That was tense. That was pretty tense. Alright, next match would be losers semis. Dushny from Nantes, France. Nantes is in the west of that country. Alright. So this is a match that I do have. I'm Pringles to this match. QB of the top tiers. This is the match that I have trouble with. So this is gonna be tough as fuck. I'm just getting rushed the fuck down. It's like, what the fuck, dude? It's like, ugh.
Le gros point dans le vent, j'ai l'impression. Les gros points, ils ont quand même arraché la barre à la pauvre abeille là quand même.
Don't try to fucking fly away, damn it.
Il a réussi à gagner un peu de temps, à trouver un petit OTG après une dive. Il va malheureusement se prendre ce sonar. Il arrive à sortir du point en pressant la center dash. Ça, pas combo masse. Il va se prendre du sonar.
Down, alright, you took his life. Alright, let's see how you're gonna deal with this one. He is good at running away from that bubble. Alright, bubble unblockable. Screwed up the combo. Oh my god. Oh, I had it. He was bleeding. That, not one, but 2 crucial points in that where I had that match. So I screwed up. So it's like, ugh. I'm kicking myself right there. Already mentally, it's like, okay, let's see if you can run it back this time and pull that miracle now, bro. Not one, but 2 points that you had it. He was bleeding and you had the rush down part of it.
Ah ouais, ok, bah c'est parti pour le deuxième match. Les joueurs ont pris un peu de temps pour prendre leur temps, je pense, pour respirer. En tout cas, Dushny, c'est parti. Malheureusement, il va pas faire ça parce que Psychochronic a tossé directement après, qui a pu regarde assez facilement ça. Ouah, la phase, il est passé au-dessus, mais il a pas réussi à confirmer. Oh, il est repassé. Et le LP qui a aussi cassé l'incenter dash de QB. C'est assez fou ce coup. Je sais pas pourquoi il fait ça. Oh, dommage, il a pas eu le confirme. Mais c'est pas grave. Cette fois-ci, c'est bon. C'est puni. Il a réussi à punir le scénario. Il était derrière.
Oh, I'm kicking myself. Okay, let's see if you can repeat that same miracle you did last round. Except actually win this time. This is confusing. This is just a frustrating match to face.
Attention, là, j'ai l'impression comme Psychochronic est en train de remonter. Non, c'est bon. Dushny qui arrive à revenir dans le match. Ouah, le gros point qui a fait
Alright. Life to life, alright? Final one. Bubble, dolls are normal. Bubble. Okay, but you get hit with the poison gas. Already right. You had 1 crucial point to end it to you again. Now let's see. Death by guard cancel. That's how you go off. You died by a guard cancel. And that's the end of your tournament run. So that was pretty good. So we're gonna see the bracket. Beat Chichio. I mean, lost to Chichio. Beat Ackley. Lost to Dushny. That's your top 8. So that was pretty good. So that was a definition of just straight up unforgiveness. It's like, yo, this level of talent is pretty good. You can't sleep on anybody. And to finish off the Sunday, just like the previous day, you have a photo album. Alright, so this is the mix-up. This is the main seating area and main, I'd say, hall corridor. Soul Calibur belt and a Dragon Ball Fighters belt. Hitbox. hitbox stations for Dead or Alive in Tekken 7, the X Street Battle shirt, to which I managed to get, Bead Sprite backpack, Shoryuken tattoo. This is your top 8 of Dragon Ball Fighters. Yep, so that's Damascus and Tyrant, so that obviously the English portion of the Dragon Ball Fighters commentary. This is the Cyberbots tournament. Izzy Morn, Zarghat. This is people just were chilling outside. Kazel, that's Hikenyo Gef's girlfriend. That's Zarghat's girlfriend, and that's Banshee Boss. We're just chilling outside in the sun. This is Street Fighter 5 casuals before top 8. This is the stream chat of, I would say, Cyberbots. This is Yasha, who won Dragon Ball Fighters. So basically, France has been killing America in Dragon Ball Fighters. So this is one of their main hype games, which is pretty good. This is another food truck. So this is Brazilian Poke Bowls. This is your top 8 of Cyberbots. Cyberbots. This is BB map, and that is a waffle, a powdered chocolate waffle. I just wanted a picture of the waffle. This is, I don't know whose stream setup, it just had a lot of pictures on it, stickers, samurai stickers. It looks pretty cool. This is Third Strike. I'm guessing this is a 3 versus 3. This is a 3 versus 3. This is a picture of a group picture of the European Vampire Savior community. Very small group, but very dedicated in their game. So it's a good thing I got to experience what is close to be a vampire street battle. This is your top 8 of, I don't even know what this game is. I forget. So this is top 8 of, so this is Vampire Savior. So this is when they started the Vampire Savior tournament. Okay, this is Soul Calibur 6. Alright, so this is Soul Calibur 6 has love in France because historically in France, Soul Calibur has always been a main game. They love the games in their scene, so it makes sense to put Soul Calibur in their major. This is Vampire Savior. So this is Carla Kanai Morrigan, Banshee Bot, BB Hood, Izzy Morn Dimitri, and Chichio and Berlicio Felicia versus Rev. I think this is to get into top 8. So this had to be a very interesting match to see. Rev, Zabel, but in this one he's using Lilith. This is the stream chat for Vampire Savior. So this is the match between me versus Carl Lukanai. So Morrigan, which is a very tough match. This is Dushni. So this is your bracket all the way going up to 4th place. So I'm glad. And so when I got eliminated from Vampire Savior, I had it planned out where if you lose and your tournament run is finished, I had a bottle of the cheapest rose wine available. This bottle was €3, which is like $4. And it's like, I gave it to Izzy Morn beforehand, put it in your fridge, wherever the fridge is. And when I say I want this bottle, it symbolizes that my tournament run is over. I'm going to open this bottle and I'm just going to share out the bottle. Like, okay, here's my cup. Anyone want to drink some of this pink rose wine? Like, whatever. I'm just going around. I'm just pouring, because I don't know how French people or European people, how they party in majors, but it's like the way I see it is like, you know what? We just drink. We just have fun and just drink. And I know, drinking is part of the culture in Europe. So it's like, I'm just gonna share out this bottle of this rose wine, and just be like, yo, I'm done. This was a great major. Like, this was great. This is W and BansheeBot. So this is the Vampire Savior top 3. BansheeBot 3rd. Dushni 2nd. Chichio and Berliccio 1st. So, and this is the Guilty Gear Strive being the second last game of the main stage. So that's the belt for that. This is Kazel. So this is Third Strike. This is Kazel. I'm thinking using Remy because here you have Niaban using who is Makoto. Alright, more information about Second World Tour Finals in Amsterdam. And then I just happened to leave right after. AB map. This is Izzy-Morn versus Chichio. This is a casual. And this is your top 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries. 6 countries. And that is it. That is the end of that chapter, with the final chapter being. So yeah, so that was my Sunday for Vampires, for the mix-up. So a top 4 finish in Vampire Savior after doing bad in Super Turbo and Third Strike, so you got 4th to make up for it. And I was told, like, yeah, it was pretty hard to get top 8 in this tournament. So yeah. Alright, so that's the end of that chapter, almost 50 minutes. So, alright. Alright. Let's get on to the final chapter of this episode.
Now, find a new rival.
Conclusion and other notes. It's cheaper for you to go to Europe over USA. With the right flight deal, it can be done along with the most affordable entry fees, 75 Canadian. Your entry fees in a US major would be triple, at least 225 Canadian. So already right there, you just saved yourself a lot of fucking money in terms of going from to go to Europe over America. So I wonder. Very good retro experience at this major. All the years only able to watch Stunfest or HFS Summer, and having been to X Street Battle, this was the perfect alternative. So it's like, okay, this is your grand major. This is the mix-up. Your grand major. This is your WrestleMania. So what are you going to showcase here? And obviously you have at least 4 games that have my attention. So there you go. It's not X Street Battle in terms of the ST, but you get a chance to play it in their traditional major. And in my opinion, that had to spark a level of like, okay, you leveled the fuck down in this game over the past few years. You might, like, hopefully this can get some spark for you to level up. First tournament in Cyberbots. This game is pretty fun. Yeah, this game is pretty fun, and if you were to do this in an American major, you'd probably get similar numbers. Maybe not 20, but maybe 16 at max. The Daywalker curse in effect, matching with the storyline. The closest experience to Vampire Street Battle with surprising 4th place finish in Vampire Savior. The biggest Vampire Savior tournament in the history of Europe in 36 entrants. Only person to get a game off the eventual winner in Chichio and Berliccio, which clearly shows that you still got it, as it motivated you to plan out your next major, Frosty Faustings 15 in February 2023. So the way I see this is, okay, you still got it. Okay, you managed to get 4th in this game, and this game specifically, because my thing is with Daywalker Curse, if I happen to do bad in Super Turbo, somehow I'm going to do better in another game, even though I put very little emphasis into it. In this case, it was Vampire Savior, and I felt like, you know what, this was pretty hard to achieve. This was, a pretty good way to, come back after, a 3-year absence from, tournaments, and everyone stuck in their version of it, Ice Age, COVID, lockdown. So I felt like, okay, this was a very good way to come back. I kind of made a statement. It's like, okay, if I may lose in one game, best believe I'm gonna make out all that slack in another game. So this Vampire Savior, like, this was good. This was good. Perfect major to those who want to attend, specifically Dragon Ball fighters, because Dragon Ball, they take Dragon Ball in France very seriously there. Soul Calibur 6, because that game still got loved there. Tekken 7, because it was a main emphasized game there. Third Strike, because you managed to get 59 players and it was the highest retro entrant tournament you got there. And Vampire Savior, because it's just different. It's just the level of skill level between America and France is very different. But it would be amazing if you have a top American Vampire Savior players show up to a French major and play their competition. It would be good. And have a great Lyon experience. Everything that you wanted to explore was done. So basically, I was there for 4 days before the tournament, so from Tuesday to Friday, and all I just did was explore the city and occasionally help out with the tournament. Because, like, if I'm going to help out with the tournament, I usually do not run a bracket, or set up a station like a PS4 and a monitor. Basically, I help unload a truck full of cabinets. So I don't mind taking time out of my sightseeing time to hang out, with everyone, at the venue days beforehand while they're setting up. Hey yo, what up? Hey yo, what up? Yeah, I'm just here passing by. I'll like chill for like an hour or two, then I'll dip. And just getting a chance to hey, and feel like that you were part of the team, which was pretty good. Because I have the pictures that they took of their official photographer, where they had a group pic of everyone sitting on that main stage, and I got to sit down with them. It's like it was very heartfelt to me. It was very heartfelt to me because it made me feel like, yo, you were part of the team. You felt like you were an international guest. I came here and basically shocked everyone. It's like, yo, he chose the Mixup because he's been to XSB before, and he plays multiple games, and he's putting that shit up on the test, and he lives in another part of Canada, which is basically like the Arctic Circle, basically, where our winters are negative 55 Celsius. So I'm like, okay, I came here because I wanted that great Lyon experience, sightseeing. You can get everything done. It's so easy to navigate. So that was one of the reasons. Another definition of a dream major. All the games you can play for a very cheap venue fee in a great location. Nothing can go wrong. Even if your tournament ran 30 minutes late, it's okay, because I come from an East Coast mindset where tournaments always run late, so we always find something to do to kind of like pass the time. It's like, okay, yeah, we're used to it. If a tournament ran late, it's because your tournament got understaffed, or the subways or LRTs kind of do affect, the traffic of the other players or whatever. It's like, nothing wrong fucking happened here. I had a great time, and best believe I've always tried to convince other North American players to go to France, even me myself. Well, would I do this again? Of course, because I want the cheapest. I'm a cheap, thrifty person, but at the same time, I want the best experience possible. I want to maximize my experience with minimal cost, and this clearly showed that you chose France over America, and this was your first tournament after COVID. And we are finished. That's the end of this episode. I hope you like what I do. This is episode 21 of Rarity Talk, my experience at the Mixup 2022. Alright, and initially this was not supposed to happen because I already had episode 20, episode 21. Episode 21 was supposed to be something else. It was supposed to be my FGC Daywalker curse, which is pretty funny, which is like, if you do bad in one game, you do somehow do good in a better game, and you have a large history for doing it. That was supposed to be episode 21. This mix-up episode was not supposed to happen, but I wrote this script within 6 hours, so it's like, okay, that's pretty much nothing. So I'm thinking of doing episode 22 as possible that Daywalker curse, but I have so much to go through, and I have not been doing this project and been slacking it for like months and months, and kind of like lacking the motivation or whatever. So I'm figure, okay, fine. Time to redo this project. So I'm thinking that episode 22 should be my FGC Daywalker curse. Alright, so I hope you like what I do. I hope you appreciate what I do. This is episode 21, not 22, 21 of Rarity Talk. So I hope you enjoy the weather and do not get COVID. And hopefully I can play you guys in Fightcade. And hopefully I'll see you all at a major.